Look how quick he is.
Yeah,
he is
very
really
fast.
Quick.
Derek Martin pushing his way down to Henry inside. Yeah.
There we go, the first
Stephen
down
Thompson.
of the night.
Nice jam.
Stephen Thompson.
All-time score for Syracuse University, CBA Rookie of the Year at Rapid City. Stephen Thompson coming up with our first dunk of the night.
First dunk of the night.
Yeah. Darren Shaw, nice rebound.
Oh, not
finish
finish off.
That again, buddy. Yeah. Good. 102 to 66.
Oh, nice pass.
Marshall Henry, here's our replay.
Here's Stevie Thompson jamming at 6'3", good leaper. Second leading scorer all time at University of Syracuse. Their stadium, University Stadium, holds 32,000, the Carrier Dome.
Syracuse, New York, and they fill it up.
They fill it up every Saturday. Nice back cut by Nenad. That pass.
Bad pass, All-Stars. Derek Martin comes up with it, moving it very quickly. He's going to pitch it back to Mike McGee. Inside to
Stevie Thompson.
Yeah.
Nice foul. Boy, you can hear that one downtown. Doesn't get it, but it doesn't seem to bother him too much.
Stevie Thompson, former CBA Rookie of the Year. 2 in a row. Chris Tupu replies for New Zealand. No, in and out. Rebound, Ricky Strother. Strother,
Side.
Tupu. Up again, Chris, attaboy. Yeah, off the glass. Nice shot.
Interesting to see what Ricky Strother's doing right now. He doesn't score too many baskets. You know, a shake and bake player. I've often said I just don't think Ricky Strother has a shot that he's going to go to. He just takes whatever comes. He doesn't work on a particular move.
106 to 68 in favor of the Export Gold All-Stars. Derek Martin getting away from Chris Tupu. Marshall Henry from Reggie Fox.
Nice play. That strong side, weak side action. They occupied everybody with a dribble, double picked on the weak side, and got clear for the jump shot.
3 on 2 now. Break. Derek Martin to Thompson. Broken up by Nenad Vucinic.
I tell you, Tom, I'm really impressed with the way these guys are moving the ball. They do move the ball very well.
The Magic finally gets his timeout. We got a minute left in the third quarter of play. 109 to 68 our score.
From Sport Monthly will be throwing
109 to 68 our score with a minute left to play in the third quarter. And John, I'm wondering if, let me ask you a serious question. With the Americans involved in this game, does that mean the New Zealanders are not getting the experience they ought to be getting, or as a team, or is this good or bad for the New Zealand team to have these extra players in this game? What does it mean?
It's a double-edged sword, Tom. I think it's really good to have a guy like Eric Brown. They need somebody to complement the quickness of the Magic Johnson team and bring the ball up the floor, the experience he's got. I would have liked to have seen Pero Cameron. I think he's an exciting young player that's a very good player. Lamar Jackson, this is an experiment with them because he's now a New Zealander, actually. He's playing in the international contest. So I think it's fine from that standpoint. I'm just a little disappointed in probably some of their offensive moves. Like, as I said before, I just don't think Ricky Struthers always seems lost to me out there.
Well, there he is right there, Ricky Strother.
I think he's got tons of talent. I'm not knocking his talent.
Right.
I just don't think he's harnessed it yet. That's all.
Well, he may be feeling lost, trailing by 31 points, 109 to 68 our score. There's our scoreboard and part of our full house at the ASB Stadium.
Good crowd tonight. Good crowd.
Yeah.
They're getting into it, and they're seeing a lot of good basketball.
Marshall Henry puts it down, makes it 111 to 68 in favor of the Magic Johnson All-Stars. Chris Tupu, Canterbury Ram in the National Basketball League, brings the ball up. Darren Shaw back to Vucinic.
Oh, a little picky. But you see, Stevie Thompson is guarding Ricky Struthers. Stevie's 6'3", Struthers is 6'11". You know, you got to do something with that. You see, the All-Stars, they're taking advantage of mismatches.
Yeah. Ball inbounded, Nenad Vucinic at the top.
Good cut.
Darren Shaw. Darren can make that shot. Vucinic. Nice hoop.
Off the backboard.
Yeah. Little fake cut into the middle, put it up off the glass. Makes it 111 to 70. 25 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Derek Martin being watched by Chris Tupu. Into the corner, Reggie Fox. Look out.
Oh, nice
no,
shot.
short. Strother comes up with it.
Set.
To Tupu. Down the middle, inside to Shaw, not going to go. Yeah, broken up by Fox. Stevie Thompson replies.
A flyer. That's a great move. Great athletic move. Nice pass.
Yeah,
nice timing.
nice hoop to end our third quarter of play. Time runs out. We've got one more quarter to go. The score so far, 113 to that team you're looking at right there. Magic Johnson and his Export Gold All-Stars. There you see our score, 70 to the AMI New Zealand All-Stars. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back. There you see a slow motion replay of our Spalding basketball shot for $20,000, John. It didn't quite get there.
Yeah, he didn't quite have it. There's Magic Johnson, but, you know, good fan there. He's a Laker fan, obviously. Has the gold and purple on. Online, not quite enough muscle, but, you know, good effort for the Spalding DB Export Gold. $20,000 bucks. One shot. You never know.
What would he have done with $20,000 anyway, kid his age? Who knows? Spin it all right.
Went to Disneyland, huh?
Ready to go for our fourth and final quarter. 12 minutes yet to play in this All-Star extravaganza from the SB Stadium in Auckland. Waiting for the tip-off, John. We've got 36 minutes under our belt. New Zealand kids, you think, feeling a bit weary?
I think they're feeling worn down. You're talking about a team of athletes, and they just wear you down. And when you start losing a little bit of your fitness, your athletic skill drops. And the New Zealand kids have dropped a lot more than the Magic Johnson All-Stars, which is to be expected. But, you know, still, it's a 43-point difference right now, which, you know, I suppose that's the way it should be. You know, I mean, these guys are some of the best players going.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Derek Martin at the top for the All-Stars. Marshall Henry, Magic Johnson not on the floor right now. Oh, yes! Our play of the game.
Right there. Nice back pick over the top. Crowd's going nuts right now.
Well, we've got to see a Raybach replay on that one. Lamar Johnson at the other, and Lamar Jackson, the other end is fouled. Here we are.
Here comes the Reebok replay. It's Stevie Thompson over the top. You got to remember, he's only 6'3". He had both elbows above the rim. Great play, and actually a great play because it's a great communication of timing, because the pass was excellent. The pass was right up there.
It was a terrific pass, actually, and of course, our outstanding shot of the game, in my opinion. Here's Lamar Jackson at the other end. His first foul shot goes.
Play one, Black.
I think one of the things you got to realize, I mean, and some of these guys have been in the NBA a long time and they're a little past their prime, but NBA players can score. If you don't guard them, they're going to put the ball in the basket.
Lamar.
Oh! Yeah, got a little bit of a chicken step in there.
Serious
step.
Collision. Lamar Jackson ends up on the floor. Lamar Jackson going to appear for the North Harbor Vikings in the National League later this year.
That's good, though. Lamar's the first guy to put anybody down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you gotta show your authority out there a bit. You can't let people walk over you. Nice back cut by Byron.
Yeah, Byron Baitoe with a turnaround. Reggie Fox goes down. He's all right. He gets up 115 to 74, excuse me, our score in favor of the Magic Johnson All-Stars. Sponsored by DB Export Gold. Derek Martin at the top.
Think they got enough signs in the stadium?
Yeah, certainly this thing is sponsored. Marshall Henry, nice turnaround jumper from 12 feet. Nothing but net, 117 to 74. Ralph Lattimore replies. Lattimore could take more shots.
You know, Ralph hasn't even looked at the basket. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, knowing your role and when to shoot and when not to shoot.
Yeah.
He's almost like a liability out there.
Yeah, well, he's a good shooter, and he's just not doing it.
Excellent shooter, but if you're not going to shoot, defense is going to play off you.
Derek Martin comes up with a loose ball, runs it down all alone. No.
He's quick.
Yeah, very quick. Outlet pass to Byron Baitoe. He'll pull up. Shoot the J? No, he was fouled by Mike McGee.
That was what you call a hammer foul. Yeah. Mike didn't jump, he just lowered the boom. But, you know, the difference, too, also, I mean, even though, you know, New Zealand's, you know, got their best athletes out here, they're still playing just a bit below the rim or at rim level, whereas the Magic Johnson All-Star guys are playing about 2 feet above the rim and creating a lot of airspace. Big difference in the game of basketball.
Byron Baitoe drops his first one. It's his second, 117 to 75. No, doesn't go. 10 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. We're in the fourth quarter. Magic Johnson All-Stars moving the ball up slowly. Marshall Henry getting by Lamar Jackson. Whoa. And fouled by Ralph Lattimore.
That's one of those moves where you say the guy left his jockstrap on the floor because he kind of hesitated, went one way, faked and came back.
Absolutely.
And Lamar didn't move. You know, Byron Vitoli doesn't have any points, you know, in the first half. I mean, so some of the scores for the New Zealand team, you know, they got to front up, put the ball in the hoop.
Our Raybach replay showing that foul there that sends Marshall Henry to the free throw line. He makes his first.
This kid on the line right now is a fringe NBA player, played in the CBA, and probably had a look at the NBA, but he wasn't quite making the grade, and he's a fine player.
Played with the San Jose Jammers. Back at the other end, Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Jackson for 3.
Just under 10 minutes to play, 118 to 78 our score, and play has slowed down considerably. Steve Thompson now, the quick guy at the end, gets by Ralph Lattimore. Nice bounce pass in the corner. Reggie Fox.
Dang. Oh. Had the look.
No, not a good pass.
You know,
Eric Brown comes up with it and scores his own
play there. But not a good pass because Darren Shaw is not the guy you want to handle the ball 20 feet from the hoop.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a low post guy.
Right, exactly. Good call. 118 to 80 in favor of the DBX Sport All-Stars. Magic Johnson, hands on his head.
Yeah, but you notice how intense his eyes were? Derek Martin right to the basket. He is so quick, but you know, Magic's, you know, it's interesting watching him coach, you know. I mean, he's real. I'm impressed with the amount of plays these guys have run.
Hands off one.
Back at the other end, Lamar Jackson to Byron Vitoli.
Hands 4-0.
Eric Brown, Lattimore. Lattimore finally getting a shot away. No, partially blocked. Goaltending.
Yeah, he called that. That was a tough one. Stevie Thompson's really a flyer. He got the bottom part of the ball, you know, and I still think it was going up on
I do too, yeah. You know? I agree. Nevertheless, New Zealand needs every point they can get at this stage. They're trailing 82 to 120.
Hands on the back.
Reggie Fox is inside, and he's fouled by Byron Vitoli. 8 minutes, 42 seconds left in the fourth and final quarter of play.
Just kind of toying with him right now, letting the guards go one-on-one, collapsing the defense. They'll either take it all the way to the basket or they'll kick it out for a jump shot from the outside.
Magic, they're not doing what he wants.
I think he's trying to get these guys to run some plays because they're going to stay together and play a lot of different teams.
Yeah. Doesn't want it to get sloppy by any stretch. Stevie Thompson puts it in, but it's not going to count. There's a foul before the shot.
That's interesting. One of the things you tell a kid as a coach is not to leave your feet to pass the ball. But I'll tell you, you know, they've got so many options when they take off.
In play.
We got
Neil
Finn back there. Hey, I was going to get to it. We got Neil Finn back there, crowded house. He's got his camera out.
Nice shot from Reggie Fox along the baseline. Neil Finn, a great Lakers fan, and of course it's been said that Magic Johnson is a mutual fan of Crowded House. So Neil was here with his boys today at the workout. They're all dressed in Laker gear.
Hey, well, you got to go with the flow when you're from Hollywood, baby.
122 to 82. It's the Export Gold All-Stars, coached and led by Magic Johnson, leading by 40 points. Left to play in the fourth. What was that?
That's what you call pulling one out of your backside. He nailed it, though.
Fall away jumper from Marshall Henry makes it 124-82.
Here it is right here, the replay. Yeah. That's what you call a fadeaway, folks, from downtown.
Lattimore.
Great shot by Henry.
Nice hoop at the other end. Mike McGee can't make it go. Lamar Jackson with the rebound. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the game. 124 to 84.
Oh, nice pass.
Yeah, it was a nice pass.
What do you say, Tommy? You think Mike McGee, number 40, has the smallest steps of anybody in the NBA?
Haven't actually had a good look at it yet. But.
Oh, just watching him run up the lane just now, you know, he takes what we call Chinese steps, little tiny ones.
Very short shuffle. You might watch out. You might be banned from television staying that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Get that commercial off the air.
There's Mike McGee on our screen right now. Mike, of course, played with Magic Johnson, the LA Lakers. He holds a couple NBA championship rings.